My fellow Americans, this is John Muntean talking to you again for MunteanForAmerica.com. I want to take just a few minutes to talk a little bit about U.S. foreign policy and where I feel we need to be and what I would do if I had any say over it. Again, I'm not a diplomat. I've never been in government, never been one to determine foreign policy, so I'm a complete novice. I don't know all the players around the world, but I do have some core values that I believe would apply to just about any situation, and I want to give a few minutes to discuss those with you. First and foremost, we're a very generous nation, and we have provided money, material, and our blood for the betterment of mankind for centuries. And I would hope to be able to continue to do that. But there are two kinds of partners we would have around the world when we do that. They're either transactional partners or they're true friends. Transactional partners are people that on a particular topic, whether it's a peace initiative or whatever, we can work with to solve a particular crisis. But our true friends are people that are willing to have those similar positions and promote the human rights and dignity of their citizens. So otherwise we can be a recurring transactional partner or we can be a true friend. Secondly, if you're a nation that receives aid from our country, two things have to happen. One, you need to give us a full accounting of where that aid goes. Does that material or money go to the intended purposes for that aid? Second thing, you can't spend any of that money lobbying for future aid. Our diplomats should be able to determine the need and understand the scope and figure out what your nation needs in the future. But you should not be allowed and would not be allowed to spend any of that money on K Street lobbyists fighting for your cause. No way for the taxpayers of this country to fund future expenses. And that difference between transactional and true friend, there are many nations around the world that have the same recognition for human dignity that this nation espouses. That can be called our true friends, none more so than the nation of Israel. There's no way I can ever imagine a time in my life where the nation of Israel should be isolated from U.S. foreign aid. And they don't need to spend a penny on lobbying efforts to maintain that. The other aspect of foreign policy that I would want to discuss is trade. Similar to what I'm saying about transactional versus true friend, there has to be an accounting for how you treat your people, what kind of workers conditions you allow in order to compete in the global trade market. I would hope that I can negotiate fair agreements where we can trade with people, both for our goods and to receive theirs, but it all should tie into how they treat their people as well. Now those are just remarkably few aspects of foreign policy, and there's a lot more that I'm sure I'll discuss later, but I just wanted to give you an understanding of how I see this foundation for U.S. foreign policy. We know we're going to have a strong military. We know we're going to have to be prepared to stand up to people that don't agree in human dignity, that don't agree that peace is not the best solution. And we need to be prepared to do that. But we also need to honor and respect their ability to make those decisions and our ability to counter. Anyway, if you have any other questions, I'd be happy to discuss them. Leave them in comments below. I know this is just a very quick shot, but we can do better things than what we are currently doing and realize that peace is always better than war. And there are people out there that agree with me, even in those nations in conflict. I hope you want to learn more about what I want to do, or what I believe we should do. Look forward to hearing from you. Again, this is John Muntean. God bless you all, and God bless America.